get ready with me and do a little light glam for nothing at all, but just because I want to test out a new product, or actually 2 new products. I got these pure tinted moisturizers and I did do a quick wear with them, but I kind of didn't get the shade quite right. So today I'm going to go in with 2 shades mixed and see how they look. Now my skin prep's all done, and because these are tinted moisturizers, you can go in with these literally with your fingers. So I'm just going to squeeze out both there. You'll see that they're slightly different shades. I'm just going to do a little mixy, as you do. Looking in my hella magnifying mirror, because I'm blind, I'm just going to literally pop that on there and go ahead and just blendy. Now, I'm going to stay away from the eye area, of course, because I'm going to use concealer there. And as you can see, this stuff blends really, really easily. And the warmth from your hands will also help it to blend in really nicely. So that's it, literally all blended in like 1 minute, not even 30 seconds. And it leaves your skin really nice and glowy, and there's no texture on my face. Now I'm 53 and I do have mature dry skin, so if you have similar skin type, your skin's gonna love this stuff. Of course it leaves your hands in a bit of a mess, but never mind. And whoever told me to get a white beauty desk, eek, shows up every bit of makeup. Next thing I'm going to go in with is this concealer by French Face, and this stuff is chef's kiss stuff. Honestly, it's absolutely crazy. It is made for the mature skin. I'm just literally going to put 1 dot there, 1 dot there, 1 dot there, 1 dot there, and I'm going to blend this with my trusty House Labs concealer brush, which is quite a big brush, but it's lovely and dense, but it's still super soft. And as you'll see, this blends out like a dreamy dream. And if you're mature, you don't want to be putting concealer right underneath the eye. That's where we tend to have more lines and texture. So if you place it on the bone and then blend along the bone, and then whatever's left, you can take a little bit up to the lash line. Now, I'm also going into the corner where I do have quite a lot of texture, but I'm only taking the residual product there. And you'll see, if I get a little bit closer, that that has blended really beautifully. It hasn't settled into any fine lines and creases. And that is the magic of this concealer. Now, of course, you can color correct under this if you want to, but I don't bother most of the time. What I do is just take the excess above my eye, just to lightly color correct. I just stab myself in the eye. Woo! Don't do that, not recommended. So that's that all blended out and super easy. Now, another new product is this Maple Syrup Pancakes palette by Too Faced, and it's got some beautiful shades in it. So I'm just going to start off with a brown shade because I don't want to do anything too crazy. And just take that through the crease. Now, if you've got hooded eyes like I have, if you just do that, open your eye, do it in the crease, close your eye, it's going to disappear just like that. So you do want to take it up just a little bit higher so you can see the colour there. I'm just going to wing it up a little bit to give a bit more depth. Other eye. And then I'm just going to go in with something paler on the inner corner. That tends to, oh my word, that's sparkly. Not what I was expecting at all, but very pretty. That just opens up the eye a little bit. Of course, if you've got lots and lots of texture, shimmer doesn't always go well, but you know what? We're over 50, we can do what the fluff we want. Let's break the rules. And then to go over the lid, I'm going to take a little bit of this shimmery brown colour and just place it in the middle. Oh, that's super pretty. That's this dark one here, if you can see it. And I know most people go into the centre of their lid with a brighter colour, but this is quite gold and sparkly. Now again, because I've got hooded eyes, and you might too, you'd need to take it above the eyelid so you can actually see the fluffing stuff. Now you can go just below the eyebrow on the brow bone with a slightly paler colour, but I'm not going to use any of those shimmers because they're a bit crazy. So I'm just using this Jordana T-shirt Nude Divinity palette. I'm just going to take a kind of pinky colour and just go into the brow bone here. Well, not into the brow bone, but you know what I mean. And that's just going to help blend that together. Now, if you're finding that that's not really blending, you can take a fluffy brush like this and just give it all a little blendy blend, because that's my favourite word. I'm going to take some of this Hourglass, which is super pretty, and just place it in this area. Now, there's also a lot of conversation out there about if you're older, you shouldn't put blush on the apples of your cheeks. But you know what? That's where we actually naturally blush. So this is the thing that actually makes you more youthful. So you do want to take it onto the apples, but yes, you might also want to take it a little bit up as well. So that's where I'm placing my blush, but not too much of it, just a little wash of colour to make me look like the living, not the dead. I do have two favourite setting powders, both from the Vitamin Babe. One is this pink powder and one is more of a skin tone powder. I'm not a baker, which means I can't cook as well, but it also means that if you're older, you shouldn't necessarily be baking under your eyes with a powder puff, because that is just going to be too heavy, too cakey. That's what's going to accentuate those fine lines and wrinkles. So let's keep it light. And we're going to keep it light with a little powder brush and take a tiny bit of the powder, and we're just going to tap off the excess into the lid and just set very lightly under the eye with little tapping motions. Now I'm using the pink powder under my eye just to brighten a little bit. And don't be scared of pink powder if you're a brown girly, because if you put it on lightly, it isn't going to look bright pink, which is just as well, really, isn't it? Then for the rest of my face, I'm going to take a slightly bigger brush, tap into the lid, because we don't want too much powder. If you're dry skinned, you definitely don't want too much powder. If you're oily skinned, you might need to set your whole face. So I'm just taking a little bit into the lid, a little bit on the brush, not a lot, and I'm just setting in the places where I feel I need it, which typically is around the mouth and the chin, just below where I've placed that blush. Of course, I've already set under my eyes. I'm just going to set my nose. Because although I'm dry skinned, the one place I always end up looking shiny as fluff is my nose. So somebody takes a picture and all you can see is my nose. Not good. Then I'm going to go in with some highlighter. And my highlighter of choice is this Made by Mitchell blush. Now you have to work quickly with this stuff because it does dry down. So I'm going to take a small beauty sponge, which is very, very slightly damp. And this is in the shade Penny from Heaven. And that goes over your powder, because if you powder over the top of this stuff, you ain't going to see it. But you can see that just gives that really nice, it catches the light, that little reflect glow. And for my lip, I'm going to go in with this MAC Chestnut, which is my Ride or Die lip liner. Can't live without it. Now what I do is I just fill in the outer corners a little bit to give it some dimension and a little bit of an ombre look. Just want to take your finger and blur that in a little bit. And for gloss, I have so many. What do I choose? I'm going to go in with a NYX Fat Oil today. This is in the shade Supermodel, so it's kind of pink, but they're not super pigmented. These are my trusty favourites, and I also like the NYX Click Sticks. So if you've not tried those, get your hands on them because they're really nice. And that's just going to give a little sheen on the inside. Now you can of course go in with a setting spray. My one of choice is this Glow Milk Mist by the Beauty Crop in collaboration with Amelia, just a really fine mist. That's just going to lock everything in place, and then after that I'm going to go in with my eyes. Curl the eyelashes, and I'm sure this is always a disaster waiting to happen. So I'll be interested to know if you've ever curled your eyelashes and taken half of them with you. And one thing to remember about lash curlers is the rubber part does get old. So if you find that your lashes are not sitting on the rubber but they're sitting on the metal, get yourself a new pair. Of course, going in with my L'Oreal Telescopic Lift because I don't use anything else. Although I have just got my paws on the Tarte tubing. So if you've tried the Tarte XL tubing mascara, I'd love to know what you think of it. Mine should be arriving in the next few days, I hope. And for my super fine post-chemo lashes, I'm desperate to see if they actually do anything. So that is the final glam with everything done. Hope you like it. And this is just a really sort of 10-minute quick and easy makeup look. You can of course tone it down if you don't even want anything this heavy, but I can definitely recommend these Pure Tinted Moisturizers if you want something super light coverage. And you don't even have to do an eye look. You can literally just swipe a little bit of bronzer or blush over your lid once you've put a little bit of concealer on. And of course, I'll be doing plenty of skincare videos on this channel. So if you're 50 plus or even 40 plus and you're looking for good skincare tips as well as some beauty tips, then you know where to come. Till the next one, bye.